Midnight is more than just a time on the clock. It is a sacred threshold, a doorway into stillness, where the noise of the day finally softens. In this hour, the world is asleep, but your soul is awake. The silence feels heavy, yet it carries a strange comfort, like an unseen blanket wrapped around your heart. Many people fear silence, but in truth, it is the silence that carries the deepest wisdom. Midnight invites you to sit, breathe, and listen, not with your ears, but with your inner being. Here, you begin to realize that you are not alone. The universe whispers softly, asking you to pay attention. The stillness is not an emptiness but a canvas for your inner voice. Each breath taken in this hour is a bridge to the eternal. Midnight reminds you that the loudest truths are born in quiet places. At midnight, something magical happens. The veil between the physical world and the unseen world grows thinner. You can feel it, a subtle presence in the air, a quiet vibration in your heart. This is why so many spiritual traditions honor midnight as the hour of prayer, meditation, and deep connection. When the world sleeps, the distractions fade. No phone calls, no conversations, no demands. Just you, your breath, and the sacred rhythm of life beating within you. The soul finds its stage here, and the whispers of eternity flow like a hidden river. In this stillness, you realize there is more beyond the visible. Your spirit feels lighter, almost as if it could drift between worlds. The unseen begins to feel like home, a reminder of where you truly belong. And in that thin veil, you feel eternity brush against your heart. Midnight also brings shadows, and shadows often hold what we try to avoid. Our fears, regrets, and suppressed emotions tend to rise when the world is quiet. But instead of running, midnight invites you to listen. These shadows are not enemies, they are unspoken teachers. They show you the parts of yourself still waiting for love, still waiting for acceptance. In the darkness, you begin to see more clearly than ever before. What daylight hides, the night reveals. Each shadow is a messenger of healing, urging you to embrace your wounds with compassion. The night becomes your mirror, reflecting truths you may deny in the day. If you listen closely, even fear carries wisdom. Midnight whispers, do not run from your shadows, they are your path to light. There was once a man who worked endlessly during the day, chasing goals, wealth, and recognition. He rarely stopped to rest, thinking stillness was a waste of time. But one night, he woke at midnight and felt a presence so deep that he could not ignore it. He sat by his window, watching the silent world, and for the first time, he noticed the stars. Night after night, he returned to that window until he realized that in the silence, he was being taught. He discovered that life was not only about movement, but about awareness. Midnight became his teacher, showing him what daylight never could. And in that window, he met his own soul, waiting for him all along. He found joy not in what he achieved, but in what he noticed. Midnight gave him back the wonder he had lost. When you quiet your mind at midnight, you hear the faint whisper of your soul. It speaks softly, never forcing, never shouting. It reminds you of your purpose, your truth, your essence. In the stillness, you feel a pull towards authenticity. All the masks you wear in the day, to please, to prove, to survive, gently fall away in the night. The soul does not demand, it only reminds you of who you are. In midnight whispers, you remember. You remember the dreams you once had but buried. You remember the love you once gave but forgot. You remember that beneath all doubt, you are light. And that whisper, though small, is the voice of eternity within you. Midnight is a mirror, reflecting back everything you've hidden. You cannot lie to yourself in this hour. Whatever you have been avoiding rises to the surface. Yet, instead of being harsh, midnight offers compassion. It says, look, see, understand, and then release. It is not a punishment, but a healing. In the quiet mirror of midnight, you are invited to meet yourself honestly, without fear, without judgment. This mirror does not distort, it reveals with clarity. It teaches you that facing yourself is the first step to freedom. Midnight shows you that you do not need to be perfect, only real. And in that truth, peace slowly begins to grow. Midnight is a mirror, reflecting back everything you've hidden. You cannot lie to yourself in this hour. Whatever you have been avoiding rises to the surface. Yet, instead of being harsh, midnight offers compassion. It says, look, see, understand, and then release. It is not a punishment, but a healing. In the quiet mirror of midnight, you are invited to meet yourself honestly, without fear, without judgment. This mirror does not distort, it reveals with clarity. It teaches you that facing yourself is the first step to freedom. Midnight shows you that you do not need to be perfect, only real. And in that truth, peace slowly begins to grow. There was once a woman who dreaded the night, for it reminded her of loneliness. Every midnight, she would cry herself to sleep, wishing for something more. But one night, instead of running from the silence, she embraced it. She closed her eyes and listened, not to the noise of her fears, but to the subtle rhythm of her heart. Over time, midnight became her friend. She realized she was never truly alone, her soul was always there, whispering. Midnight did not take away her pain overnight, but it transformed her loneliness into love, and her silence into strength. What she once feared, she began to cherish. Midnight became her companion, her healer, her doorway into light. True awakening often comes not in noise, but in silence. Midnight awakens you not by giving you answers, but by removing the distractions that blind you from seeing the answers already inside. It teaches that peace is not found outside, but within. The midnight hour becomes a sanctuary, a place where the soul breathes and the spirit rests. Here, you discover the infinite depth of your being. Stillness becomes your teacher, silence your guide. You realize you have always carried light within. Midnight opens the door to the eternal you. When the world sleeps and you are awake, you stand in the company of eternity. Midnight whispers truths that last forever. You are not your fears, not your failures, not your masks. You are the light hidden in darkness, the soul within the body, the eternal in the temporary. As the midnight hour fades into dawn, remember that silence is not empty, it is full of answers. And in that silence, your soul speaks. Will you listen? The dawn that follows is not just the birth of a new day, it is the birth of a new you. The night taught you, and the light reminds you. Midnight is the teacher, but your awakened soul is the student that carries its wisdom forward.